Hey everybody, David here, PrimeMortal Fitness. Today taking you through a mindful stretch, just an easy stretch. You don't need much room at all, and you don't need much time. We're just gonna go through a bunch of exercises that could be done after a workout or even just after a really long day. So let's get started by just sitting comfortably. We'll close down the eyes, we'll start to breathe a little bit. Just come into this moment. And as we breathe, we want to just extend the breath. So longer than a sentence and not quite a sigh. And just breathing naturally here too. Because we're not doing a vinyasa practice, we're not doing that ujjayi breath that we do when we do that big flowing yoga practice. It's just a natural breath, and a breath that feels like it supports you through your stretches. For the next couple of breaths, let's just make a commitment to stretching the way our bodies wish to stretch today. Rather than forcing and contorting, let's just see what is available. Kind of the center of yoga. What is available, what is offered, rather than what we expect to find. Last breath. Peel open the eyes, hello, and we're going to come over onto all fours. First, push back into child's pose, knees as wide as you like. Easy push back, and then just shifting forward. Easy pushing back, shifting forward. And now I invite you to move as you like, so maybe we want to get a little weird with it, tracing some kind of circles. My spine is pretty much staying in the same shape. I'm not doing any, cat or cow just yet. I'm going to change direction though. I did 3 circles on my, do 3 the other. And then bring knees under hips, and then just have a kneel back. So if this is something that you're working on, please feel free to sit on a block or a book. Just let your quads stretch, let them kind of decompress. One more breath. Then we'll come forward onto all fours. So first, that lovely cat and cow. Make sure your middle fingers run parallel. The elbows are squeezed to point back, and the shoulder blades down your back. On your inhale, push the chest forward. My belly is very lightly and slightly drawn in. Exhale round, push the floor away. Now this can be done quite quickly or quite slowly. I'm going to go slow, but you can decide how you would like to move. And of course, a little yogi playtime after you finish a couple of cat and cows, then please feel free to move any way you like. Shifting weight, spiraling the spine, tracing circles. Just do your thing. The breath is just natural at this stage because we've moved away from these really strict flex and extend. Now we're just in the bend. Last couple of breaths, whatever you're doing. And come to stillness in a flat back. On your inhale, take your right hand up, and as you exhale, easy thread through, let the butt go back. So it's kind of a twisting child pose. Relax the arms, the elbows. This is a very, just gentle, imperfect twist. And come forward. Other arm, so left arm up. Exhale, reach, and then let yourself sink back. Come forward again. Swapping back to the right arm. Inhale, lift it, make a bigger presentation out of the twist. And then as you reach through, the butt's going to stay over the knees. And we come all the way down. Ear to the ground, left arm bending. And try this. We want to push the butt more to the right. That deepens that twist on the right side. If you wish to take it deeper, move your right hand, so your left hand in, and then reach your right hand further away underneath you. Get right between the shoulder blades, going down all the way to your hip bones, through your waist, into your back. Inhale to unwrap. Hello. Exhale, hand down. Let's go to the other side. Up, through. As we land it, move your right hand a little closer, and then you're pushing your butt to the left. So you can use the hand, use that, pushing into the left knee here to reach under a bit more. And yes, every time we're twisting, we always pull the abdominals in. Last breath. Inhale, unwrap, unwrap, unwrap. Exhale, hand comes down. Make sure that the middle fingers are parallel to one another or parallel to the outside edges of your mat. If you're using that, then tuck, lift, and push back. Start to walk in this downward facing dog. Let the movements come in. Sway side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Stay in downward facing now. So if you look ahead to your fingers, you've got those parallel middle fingers. The elbows are turned in, the shoulder blades lift up. Looking back, we see that our heels are slightly pointing outwards, very slight. Bend the knees and lift your sit bones. You'll feel your belly get closer to your thighs. As you exhale, push the heels away. Let's stay here for 2 breaths. Inhale, bring the knees down. Exhale, push the butt back. Let's go through some striking Cobras, just manipulating through the spine. So inhale, elbows come down. You can even do chest and chin. Scoop through and lift a little. So this is my mindful stretch. I'm not trying to lift up to upward facing. Exhale, send it back. And then feel free to move on your own here, where you sweep through. Scoop, lift. So I'm going somewhere between slow and fast here. It just feels really, I suppose I'm moving my body, so the movement is organic. It just feels really natural. One more time. And back, then walk your hands towards your knees, lift yourself up. You're gonna come forward for a lunge. So take your left leg ahead and come on down into your lunge. There are many different ways that you could go ahead and construct your lunge now. I would like for you to keep your chest lifted. You might want to hop your right knee back. I'm going to go into lizard now. I'm going to heel toe the left foot a little wider so I can bring my hands inside. So I have lizard here. Lizard is also coming down. And if you wanted to, you could change this by adding a twist, maybe even holding the foot behind you. Bend, a little twist, find the foot. Ooh, quad stretch. If your quads feel tight, kick into your hand a little bit. And then relax. Wherever you're at. 3 more breaths. Drawn out. Release the foot if you had it. Slowly climb up. We're going to keep stretching this left leg, so you'll hop your right knee in. Have a seat. And just bend the right leg. Left leg is out straight. We can take the junk out of the trunk. Take a big breath in, reaching out of frame. And then as you exhale with a soft left knee, come forward, Janusarasana, just a single leg fold. Think about this. Nose to knee feels one way. Let's take nose towards knee. The back is rounded so the belly stays lifted. Relax the shoulders. Then try this with me. Lift the heart. Think about heart shining towards where the front of your ankle is. And come into that. Maybe the hands hold the foot, are beside, or are behind to really lift that heart space. I like holding onto my foot. I even might pull my toes back a bit, and I get that lovely stretch to the calf. It just feels more complete for me. we slowly lift ourselves up and away. I'm gonna go into a butt stretch first, just a normal kind of butt stretch, where I'm gonna put right foot down, left ankle on top. Ooh. If you've had a particularly tough day, you could lie on your back and do this. I'm just gonna stay seated though. Hop my butt in a little closer. Oof. Always flex the foot, so toes pulling back. And one of my favorite transitions coming up. I'll take one more breath here and I'll stay for the exhale. Now on the inhale, foot comes to floor. You snuggle in towards your knee, and then you're going to be twisting towards this knee. So that might mean turning away from your screen, but both butt cheeks down. You could always straighten the right leg underneath you if you need to. Reach up with the right hand, and as you exhale, you're hugging your left knee into that twist. As we stay here for successive breaths, every inhale, remind yourself to lift a bit. Every exhale, perhaps that's created space for you to revolve a bit more. One more breath in and out. Untwist and go towards the kind of the open side. Hands down, give yourself a little bow, just there. Whew. And now you're going to be turning towards your open side and unpretzeling. Take the legs out as wide as you like. Untuck. This stretch can also be done standing and tipped forward if you want. That's Prasarita Partanasana, but we're just going to do an easy straddle here. So yes, definitely butt cheeks back. Feel free to sit on a cushion, a block. If you want to do that, keep the legs active. So we're going to try and keep pulling our toes back as much as we can. Inhale with hands behind, and exhale, offer your heart forward. Come to where you feel that kind of resistance in the backs of the legs, both of them. If you need to, you can bend your knees, right? Because we don't need lots of resistance behind our knees. And then with several breaths, you get to take it a little deeper and deeper. Feel free to close your eyes. Allow gravity and exhale to assist. And of course, belly muscles pull in to help your back stretch that bit more. Sometimes I like to hold my feet, but then I keep the chest coming forward. And the busy world is there, we just breathe. Hopefully you felt your stretch deepen. Just 2 more breaths here. And slowly coming up. Oof. We're going to go directly to the right side, so you just kind of come on in. Your right foot. Step in, going to your lunge of choice. What was that? How was that? For me, it was this in here, and that hip flexor quad, just inviting them to be a little bit more supple. And then it was lizard, so the heel toe wider so that arms can fit in between. Remember, lizard here, or on forearms, or if you followed me last time, that was kind of coming down to make sure my foot doesn't get caught there on the couch. And come down to my elbows. A little bit reluctant on this side. And then I held my foot with my opposite hand. I kick into my hand a little bit, just to let the quads know that they're okay. And then relax it. 4 breaths. Release. Ooh, climb up slow. Hop the back foot in. And set up for that first butt stretch. That's a seated hip and butt stretch. We take ankle to thigh, pull the toes back, and then lift the chest. Ooh. Stretching the right side for me always feels a little less yielding than the left side, just a little less. Two more breaths. And coming into that seated twist, so foot comes down. I'm going to turn to face you this time. Make sure that you move things out of the way. All sorts of anatomy out of the way. Hug in. Bring that foot in so it's fully on the ground, remembering that you can always straighten the bottom leg. Lift, lift, so left arm to the sky. And as you exhale, twist to your right. And remember that little inhale, create some space. Exhale, avail of that space. Use some of that space for the twist. We want to make sure that we're not forcing. It really is the space that's left, or that comes up, becomes available when we exhale. Last two breaths. And we unwrap, we do that little bow to the side. This feels nice. Ooh. And then come into an inner thigh stretch of ease, Baddha Konasana. It's true, you could go ahead and lie on your back and do Supta Baddha Konasana, or you can go into frog pose if you want to set that up, if that's the inner thigh stretch you like, but this is meant to be just an easy one. So you pull the heels in as much as you like, rock around a little bit, feel good, feel properly placed, and then you press down. I'm gonna have 3 breaths seated, and then 3 breaths folded where I will round into the fold, but 3 breaths seated first. Eyes closed if that's your thing. And then if you wish to fold with me, I inhale to prepare it, and I exhale, abdomen scoops in to help me fold. I try and be soft through my shoulders and arms. I even let my head hang here, and it stretches right up the back, right up to where my occiput is, that dent at the base of your skull. Maybe you try wiggling your jaw here a bit. Coming all the way up. Ooh. Take the right leg out. And we tie it all together with that last Janusarasana. So that's an inhale with the soft knee and an exhale coming forward, remembering that we did nose to knee first. And then lifting up. Maybe hands at the back, but trying to lift the heart up and over for this next bit. So kind of level the neck. And have your hands where you'd like for them to be. 5 breaths. course, you probably noticed that I forgot that on the other side, but we got there eventually, didn't we? Let's have a lie down on our backs. So I'm gonna have toes kind of pigeon-toed, turning in, and let my knees just kind of fall in here. Just for a little bit and let myself really sink into the ground. My final shape before we have a little 10 breath rest is Happy Baby. And so for Happy Baby, that's knee and knee, foot and foot. You can hold here, the knees go wider than your rib cage. Yeah, pulling in. It's tempting to lift the butt, but try to keep the butt down. So watch and see what I mean. Some people can touch their feet, they can hold outside, inside, or that pistol grip, I like the pistol grip. And they lift up and the butt comes right up. And they stay here. And that's okay if that feels good to them. But what we want to try to do as best we can is squeeze the shoulder blades together, bend the elbows a bit so you've got that pull, and then you're pushing into your hands. So activate, push. And for some of us, that's what we need to do to get the butt from here and to down here. You could rock, you could extend legs, you could play around. I'm just gonna stay still because this is a shape that just is not the easiest shape in the world for me. And I just wanna close my eyes and enjoy it. My final breath. Just come away. I'm going to come into about 10 breaths of Shavasana. Just rearrange me short. I'm just going to let myself be here on the ground. I hope that you've got the space and time to be able to do this with me. 10 breaths. I'm just letting my awareness sink down, my eyes sink back. If you would like to stay lying for a bit longer until this clip ends, that's perfectly all right. But if you'd like to return, we start with gentle movements, fingers, toes, movement in the digits, but also those first more major joints like wrists, ankles, and into the elbows, the knees. Maybe you hug your knees in. And then come up to seated either by lifting your head and rolling up, or you can always do the rolling to your preferred side, wait a bit, and then press up. So you are all completely, of course. If you are finishing seated with me, then find a comfortable position, and let's do some shoulder rolls. So 3, 2, 1, other way. 3, 2, 1. Then right hand to the right, left arm up and over. Easy side bend. Bring it up to the other side. Come up and we'll twist to the right now. So you can make a big presentation out of that, or just subtly turn. Other side. And some neck stretches. Feel free to do your own. Mine is just a little tip. So it's the weight of my hand, and I'm going towards my instructor right shoulder. The weight of my hand and arm. I'm not pulling, I'm just doing the weight. And that feels okay. I'll do the other side the same way. Just 2 breaths there, not over long. And lift up. Now this one you may know is my favorite one. So I turn my chin a little bit to the right, and then I take my arm. It's almost like putting your bicep into your eye socket. So right bicep, right eye socket, and then your arm wraps around. And again, it's the weight of your arm, and that gets into the core, kind of those where the upper traps come in and muscles feed up, your neck extensors feed up. Change sides easily, take your time. And if you chose to do a different neck stretch than this, of course that's welcome. Taking hands interlacing naturally, and then I push ahead. Then I come back, take hands behind, fingers to the left and the right, that's it. And open the chest. Then a release. I hope that you enjoyed this little mindful stretch, and remember you can call on that after a great day, after a hard day, when you know that you really need to stretch after a really high intensity workout. This is always here for you to help you balance things out. I will see you next time. Bye for now.